Good morning. I'm Elizabeth Hendry, Vice President for Academic Affairs. On behalf of the Queens College faculty and administration, it is my pleasure to extend to you the warmest welcome and congratulations. Many of you have gathered from near and far to celebrate virtually your graduates' accomplishments. We will now bring to an official end this challenging but successful academic year at Queens College. The class of 2021 is joining us for the last time as students, reminding themselves of the Queens College motto, Discimus ut serviamus, we learn so that we may serve. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Chief Marshal, Robert Engel, who will officially open and close these commencement exercises. Professor Emeritus Robert Engel holds degrees from the Carnegie Institute of Technology and the Pennsylvania State University. Professor Emeritus Engel served on the Queens College faculty for 5 decades as a professor of chemistry, joining the faculty in 1968 and rising to full professor in 1976. He served the college in many capacities, including chair of the chemistry department, dean of graduate studies, dean of research and graduate studies, and twice interim dean of mathematics and natural sciences. He received the President's Award for Excellence in Teaching in 2003 and was made a Fellow of the Royal Society of Chemistry in 2017, among many other honors and awards. He retired from Queens College in 2019, but it can truly be said that he retired only from teaching. He currently serves as the science director of QuatCare, an innovative life science company. It provides antimicrobial materials and disinfection solutions for both industrial and human health applications. QuatCare works with both industry and the U.S. government to develop antimicrobial and antiviral protections and surfaces. This work is particularly important now during the pandemic. Today, Chief Marshal Engel wears the Queens College chain that has the names of the Chief Marshals from previous commencements. Please give a warm welcome to Professor Emeritus Robert Engel.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 97th commencement exercises of Queens College of the City University of New York are now officially open. Let us thank the students and faculty members from the Aaron Copland School of Music for sharing their talents with us this morning. President Frank H. Wu, I am honored to report that members of the graduating class, the faculty and staff of Queens College, and representatives from the Board of Trustees and administration of the City University of New York are now present. All are gathered here for the 97th commencement of Queens College. And now I ask that everyone please stand and face the flagpole behind you. We invite you to join in the singing of our national anthem, which will be led by Amy Guarino, who is graduating today with a degree of Master of Music in Classical Performance.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Amy. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce the 11th president of Queens College, Frank H. Wu.
Thank you, Chief Marshal Engel. We appreciate your long-standing contributions to Queens College. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Earning a college degree isn't easy in the best of times. It takes dedication, effort, and resiliency. Yet, this year, we all know that during the pandemic, what you have achieved is extraordinary. You had to endure challenges and overcome obstacles that none of the other classes in our institutional history have ever faced. Like all of us, you worried about your health and safety, that of yourself and your loved ones. We know that some of you or your family members lost jobs. You faced housing insecurity, food insecurity, and we shifted everything online, yet you adapted. You traded the classroom for Zoom rooms. You learned how to upload videos for group projects. You visited the library remotely. You even socialized on virtual platforms. We know that you missed the opportunity to sit in a lively discussion. You weren't able to hang out with your classmates and friends afterward. You couldn't be mentored by your teachers or attend one of the night's athletic activities on campus, or just stroll around on a clear spring day as the cherry blossoms bloomed. Yet you've overcome all of these challenges and you've continued to thrive. That makes you all the more admirable. We know that many of you are the first in your family, the first among the generation to complete college. We commend you on your perseverance. During the heart of the American Revolution, Thomas Paine declared, "The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly." I am sure that for all of you, you will not esteem your Queens College diploma too lightly. I join you in celebrating a profound moment of joy, which you will remember for the rest of your lives. This is my first commencement as your president here at Queens College. I never thought that we would conduct it this way, looking at one another on a screen. Commencement means beginning. As we approach the end of the pandemic, as we emerge, we will have a fresh start. Queens College, as a civic institution, has a vital role to play. I look forward to that, and I hope you do as well. As you receive your diploma today, you have a bright future ahead of you. You have the opportunity to make good on the Queens College motto, "We learn so that we may serve." You join the ranks of our many distinguished alumni in all walks of life who have contributed to society. We've trained you to be a leader, each in your own way. I am so proud of you, and I look forward to meeting you sometime in person to be able to shake your hand, whether it's at an alumni gathering or perhaps once again as a student if you come back for a graduate degree to continue your education. No matter what, I am sure that that day will come soon. I want to give a special shout out to all of the graduates who have served in the United States Armed Forces or continue to serve now. I also want to congratulate and express appreciation, as I know each of the graduates themselves will do, to the parents, the grandparents, the brothers, the sisters, the husbands, the wives, the partners, the loved ones, the friends who helped support you through this effort over the years. Watching today, you know that you've done a great job helping our students as they take this giant step. They could not have done it without you. That's true as well of the faculty and staff on our campus, whether they stand behind a podium or work behind the scenes. I'd like to thank the federal, state, and local officials who have made it possible for us as a public institution to continue to make higher education the engine of the American dream. It is not I alone who congratulate you. There are so many others who I'm pleased to introduce who join me in saying to you, well done.
Hello, Queens College. This is Senator Chuck Schumer, and it's my honor to address the faculty and staff, the families and friends of the graduates, but most of all you, the class of 2021. Congratulations, you've made it. Now, I'm really sorry I can't join you in person, as I do almost every year, but I'm grateful that modern technology allows us to still be connected on this graduation day. You are special, and I wouldn't want to miss congratulating you, COVID or not. First, a quick word to the parents. As a parent myself, I know how hard it is to raise kids these days and how much you've invested in them. But it all pays off as you watch your son or daughter receive their diploma and become an adult before your very eyes. Let's have a virtual round of applause to the moms and dads. Everyone says your senior year in college will be the most memorable, and for many of you, it probably has been, but certainly not in the way you expected. With COVID affecting our nation's health, our nation's economy, and your senior year, these have been unusual and difficult times. The challenge of these moments are truly unique, but so has been our collective response. The fact that we're still celebrating this graduation and not letting COVID stand in the way, even if we're celebrating differently, just goes to show that New Yorkers won't let anything stop us from honoring what's so important in life. And nothing can take away from the fact that you've earned a degree from such a fine institution of higher learning. We have a long way to go, but for the first time in more than a year, we can start to think about what it'll be like to return to normal. We're beginning to see light at the end of the tunnel, thanks to safe and highly effective vaccines. It's nothing short of a medical miracle, and I'm proud to have helped lead the way in Congress by prioritizing vaccine research, production, and most of all distribution so that everyone who wants a vaccine can now get one. And as Senate Majority Leader, the first ever from New York, I worked hard to pass the American Rescue Plan, which is putting money in the pockets of people and small businesses who have been hurt by this crisis and helping our society recover in so many different ways. Now, I'm pushing President Biden to forgive $50,000 in student loans, a crushing burden for millions of recent graduates around the nation. With a flick of a pen, he could wipe this debt clean and create a brighter future for so many people, including many of you. So, class of 2021, my message to you is simple. Right now, it may feel like the future is uncertain. Many of you may not be sure what you're going to do next, but what has been true throughout history is just as true today. That even in times of difficulty, there are always new opportunities, new ways of thinking, of doing things a better way. It's natural to fear the unknown, and I'm sure many of you do right now. But don't let the harshness of this past year prevent you from seizing new opportunities. They're out there, you just have to keep your eyes open to them. And don't forget, you have incredible assets, a college degree from a great institution, and loving families who will have your back through thick and thin. Our nation is overcoming this pandemic, and we need your help and your courage to rebuild our country even stronger than it was before. This past year has revealed the injustices and prejudices that persist in our society, and we can't just go back to the way things used to be. We must make our society better, and we know we will, because you are our future leaders, and we have faith in you. So I say once again to Queens College class of 2021, congratulations, good luck, and Godspeed.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from right here in Queens, New York, and it's an honor to congratulate the class of 2021. To all the graduates, this is your moment. I'm so happy and thrilled to be a part of your big day and celebrate this momentous occasion with you. You all have bright futures ahead, and I send you my deepest and warmest wishes for success on your journey through life. I want to especially commend you for persisting in your studies during this COVID-19 pandemic. Transitioning to remote learning and virtual classrooms was not easy, but you persevered, made it through the unprecedented challenges, and made it here to graduation. Many people have high expectations for you, your family, your friends, and your community, and I know you'll make them so proud. Thank you for listening, and again, congratulations to the Queens College class of 2021.
Hello, I'm Toby Ann Stavisky. I chair the State Senate Committee on Higher Education. Queens College is in my Senate district, but I think most importantly, I went to graduate school here at Queens College. And I want to congratulate each of you and your families on this important day. We're very, very proud of you. And let me also congratulate my former colleague, Congressmember Esbiod, on receiving the President's Medal. And what I think is most significant is that Queens College makes everybody so proud each and every day for everything that you do. And you've done it for 97 years. So I thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Assemblywoman Neely Rosick, your local representative, wanting to wish Queens College and all its graduates a hearty congratulations on 97th year of commencement. To everyone graduating this year, though we can't do it together in person on campus, I hope that soon we will all get to celebrate together. Again, congratulations to you and your family, and good luck on all of your future endeavors.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul, and first of all, my heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2021 and to all the people, your family, your friends, your professors who helped you make it here today. Surely a year ago, when the class of 2020 was denied their rite of passage with an in-person graduation, you thought by the time you graduate, the pandemic would be gone and life would be back to normal, right? Well, here we are. Yet despite enduring uncertainty and setbacks for more than a year of COVID, you still met the rigorous academic standards required to earn a diploma from a great New York State institution. But far more than the academics that every class before you and those that follow have to meet, your education, particularly since 2020, has been utterly unique. Each of you are now qualified to teach a masterclass in adaptability, essential life skills, and resiliency. Not sure? Just hear me out. You are now entering into a world which has been radically altered. Forces beyond our control have changed our economy, our society, and indeed have changed each and every one of us. You are now bonded with others in the class of 2021 across the nation in a shared moment in history that will define a generation. And I guarantee that at your 50th reunion, you'll be talking about what you endured, the sacrifices you made, how you missed your classmates and your professors, how you had the additional hardship of finishing your education through enormous stress. But through it all, missing the final days with your friends and the celebration of graduation, you endured. And it is that endurance, resiliency, and a toughness, coupled with compassion and a newfound appreciation for people in all walks of life, from healthcare workers to grocery store cashiers to countless fellow citizens who selflessly rose to meet the occasion. All of this has built a foundation for your character that will serve you for as long as you live. You may not feel like it yet, but your experience surviving the global pandemic of 2020-2021 is a rock upon which you will measure all future challenges, setbacks, and whatever life throws your way. Just like the greatest generation who endured and survived the Great Depression and World War II, you and members of your class have the potential to be a generation that is held in esteem and awe for the grit and spirit of determination that got you to this graduation today. These traits will carry you forward into a world of uncertainty, yet one of unlimited possibility. Once you walk across the virtual stage, you'll be entering a whole new era, one where we have far more questions than answers. But as a college-educated adult, you will now be called upon to help shape the answers to the burning questions of the day. Like, how do we eradicate racial and social injustice? How do we foster more inclusivity for marginalized communities? How will we meet the challenge of climate change? How do we address the future of work and workplaces? How do we solve the healthcare inequities and better prepare for the next viruses that are sure to come? You are needed to help define our post-pandemic world and to answer these questions. Now, our country is turning to you, our next generation, for inspiration and hope as you build your own legacy and strive toward a more just, civil, and inclusive society. So more than just wearing a cap and tassel on your head, you also now wear the weight of these responsibilities on your shoulders. Class of 2021, as the curtain of social distancing and isolation begins to lift, more and more are vaccinated, and we venture out from this period of darkness. Use your newly acquired education as the launch pad to lift off from and soar high. Use your passion and your most recent experiences to help shape our post-pandemic society into one that promotes generosity, love, and kindness. That's exactly what this world needs right now. And your fellow New Yorkers are counting on you to help lead the way. Congratulations on this amazing accomplishment.
Hello, I'm Queensborough President Donovan Richards. On behalf of the nearly 2.4 million residents of Queens, the world's borough, I congratulate you, the members of Queens College's class of 2021, on your graduation today. Your class has certainly been through a lot, especially during the last 15 months, as you face the many difficulties of continuing your higher education in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. But you have persevered. And your hard work in the face of trying circumstances has enabled you to earn the prestigious degrees being conferred upon you today. I'm happy to say that your education here at Queens College and your success in coping with the challenges that could have prevented you from completing your education have left you very well prepared to take on the world and to achieve great success in your chosen fields of endeavor. Congratulations once again, and best wishes to you as you celebrate your graduation from Queens College. Good luck.
My name is Councilman Jim Gennaro, and I have the privilege of representing Queens College in the New York City Council. And I send greetings to the Queens College class of 2021. Congratulations to you all, and thank you for letting me share this momentous occasion with you and your families. Thank you, Queens College President Wu and fellow QC staff for having me here today to celebrate with you all. I once taught at QC for 8 years, so I well know the strong spirit of this great institution. Although it has now been another year without a live ceremony, that does not take away from the incredible things you've accomplished. Do not let this virtual ceremony diminish your sense of pride and accomplishment. You're receiving a well-earned diploma, and you have shown great resilience in the face of a worldwide challenge. You will be leaving Queens College with a sense of public purpose and heightened sense of responsibility. Your goal is to be compassionate and empathetic to those around you, charitable, and ethical towards your community. Embrace the challenges in front of you and keep making us proud. Celebrate today's tremendous milestone safely. And once again, congratulations to the Queens College class of 2021.
Now, with great pleasure, I present CUNY trustee Kevin Kim. A graduate of Townsend Harris High School, located right here on the Queens College campus, he chaired the search committee that recommended me for this honor of serving as your president. Trustee Kim is here representing the entire CUNY board.
Class of 2021, on behalf of the CUNY Board of Trustees, congratulations. There's no playbook on how to run a college during a pandemic. Yet, thanks to the extraordinary leadership of first-year President Frank Wu and the tireless dedication of the entire Queens College faculty and staff, here we are. And to you graduates, you did it. As tragic as this year has been, I'm hoping that each of us can find something positive to focus on moving forward. For me personally, I'm choosing to focus on the humanity I witnessed. From the first responders to the frontline healthcare workers to the countless unsung heroes, many of whom are CUNY alums. I choose to celebrate what we can do when we come together in a crisis as a city and as a country. Class of 2021, what will your positive focus be on? Congratulations again, and please keep making us proud. Thank you.
I am deeply honored to introduce the 8th Chancellor of the CUNY system, the 10th President of Queens College, my tremendous colleague, our esteemed leader, Felix V. Matos Rodriguez.
Greetings, saludos, and thank you, President Wu, for inviting me to take part in this meaningful college tradition. I miss being with you all in the beautiful Queens College Quad. I look forward to being there with President Wu presiding over many commencement ceremonies, and I want to thank him for his steady leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic and also for standing strong on behalf of the Asian American community as we saw so many cases of bullying and abuse this year. On behalf of the entire CUNY community, I am thrilled to extend my enthusiastic congratulations to a very special and unique graduating class, the resilient, persevering, and magnificent Queens College class of 2021. Let me begin with an acknowledgement and a salute. When you arrive at this university to begin your first class, you could not have imagined the events that would reshape our world and reconfigure your college journey for these last 2 academic years. I know this isn't the graduation ceremony that any of us could have imagined, perhaps even when we started the academic year back in August. But even without a procession in caps and gowns, nothing can diminish the importance of this occasion. It is not possible to understate the scale of your accomplishment and the admiration I have for all of you. I am so proud and honored to salute the class of 2021 and to express my appreciation for the faculty, staff, and families who play such a pivotal role in helping each student reach the finish line. Commencement season, I've said it before, it's my favorite time of the year. Like all of you, I long to be able to celebrate the occasion in person, to look out from the days and see a lengthy horizon of smiles and hear a resounding chorus of cheers and have high fives and see families together. We have needed to tweak these traditions, but make no mistake, that does not make this modified commemoration any less memorable. For more than a year now, you confronted a relentless confluence of circumstances and challenges for which none of us could have adequately prepared. From the arrival of the coronavirus and its subsequent surges, to the transition to distance learning and virtual events, and the anxiety of an economic downturn, a consequential presidential election last fall, and a renewed nationwide push for racial and social justice, you conducted yourselves fittingly, admirably, and with great purpose. For many of us, the crisis has been accompanied by personal loss. On behalf of the university, I want to offer sincere condolences to all who are grieving. And still, through all that we've been through, the sacrifices that we needed to make to protect our safety so we could begin to recover and to get to where we are today, you never stop pursuing your goals and your dreams. I hope you're able to look back and feel an incredible sense of pride, as well as a degree of optimism for the way you responded and helped your community heal. Class of 2021, I am humbled by your selflessness, by your kindness to each other. The education that you fought so hard to attain will enable you to flourish as you stepped into a world that has changed since you first arrived. But make no mistake, you are stronger for what you endure, and you're ready to leave your mark in the world. We will never forget your courage and resilience. I hope you never forget CUNY, because we will always be here for you. Congratulations to you and to your families and to the entire campus community. This is your day to celebrate. You did it. All good wishes to you moving on forward, and the best of luck. Suerte y éxito.
Our student speaker, Anna Sava, was a double major, graduating with degrees in political science and comparative literature, holding a 3.92 GPA. A native of Nicosia, Cyprus, she speaks multiple languages, participated in study abroad programs, was president of the Model United Nations on campus, and received a prestigious Chancellor's Global Scholarship. Following her graduation here at Queens College, she will pursue her master's degree at Columbia University. I'm so pleased to introduce our accomplished student speaker.
Some of you may already know me, or you may recognize me from around campus, perhaps holding out some kind of flyer or poster, hosting an information session on some global issue, giving a campus tour to middle schoolers. Some may know me as your former Model United Nations president, Amnesty member, study abroad advisor, Ibrahim scholar, teacher's assistant, or maybe you know me as that annoying student who asked one too many questions towards the end of the lecture. And if we've never met, hi, I'm Anna. Even if we have never interacted, we now have at least one thing in common. We have managed to make it through a time in history that has devastated the world. A global pandemic where we have all lost something, someone, or some part of ourself. And yet you and I have managed to make it here despite the odds. We have earned a degree that no one can take away from us, no matter how many other moments in history we are a part of. We are college graduates. I stand here today having majored in comparative literature and political science. Two majors that may seem as though they exist on separate planes, but intersect in ways one may not expect. The word empathy comes to mind. Empathy as a powerful tool for change. Whatever your major may have been, you may have caught yourself becoming a spectator. A lack of engagement in this world around us can be dangerous. Occasionally, when we hyper-focus on topics, even topics that we study and we love, we risk removing ourselves from the subject and disconnecting from what you are saying and how it is going to help others. Empathy teaches us how to lead compassionately, how to identify the very human aspect of everything that we learn. For me, comparative literature had taught me to understand that even my role as a reader is not a static one. To behave as someone who will never meet the characters of a book, but must still see them as dimensional beings. Political science has taught me how structures, when crafted with empathy, can foster resilience, and how systems that lack empathy uphold violence and must be dismantled. I have experienced some of these violent structures growing up in a post-conflict society. I grew up in the last divided capital, Nicosia, in one of the most militarized countries in the world, Cyprus, a small island nation off the coast of Syria and Lebanon. In the moments where I was able to look across the other side of the barbed wire, past the different military forces on the island, bi-communal tensions, I discovered a profound sense of empathy. And this empathy gave reason to do something about the nervous condition I was in. And so I spent a lot of my time at Queens College trying to find ways to promote settings in which empathy and understanding could guide meaningful change. And with the resources I had because of Queens College, this led me to my greatest honor of being Model United Nations President. And with the resources made accessible to my team of young intellectuals, we were able to host events on pressing human rights concerns, promote student dialogue, as well as take part in conferences here in New York and in Washington, D.C. Queens College also granted me the opportunity of becoming an Ibrahim Fellow, where I had the privilege of taking part in interfaith, intercultural, and geopolitical discourse with Middle Eastern leaders and other student scholars across the U.S. while in Oman and the UAE. At a time when higher education as a public good is being challenged by profit-driven institutions all around us, Queens College, as a CUNY school, has given me access to countless opportunities to learn more about myself while also serving my student community. My experiences taught me that the first step to creating those settings in which empathy can flourish is where you drop the seed of understanding. You can bury the seed and begin to water it with knowledge, personal narratives, evidence, and as you watch it grow, just like a flower, it blossoms and impacts the environment around it. The seed, now a flower, feeds into the rest of its community and begins to prompt more and more change with the seasons to come. I'd like to think of Queens College as a place that offered us a planting plot. There are so many opportunities to explore yourself in that in any corner of the campus you may look, you will find a different flower. And to all of my fellow peers, who have taught me about their own cultures, interests, the peers who have shared their stories, listened to mine, we have grown together, and you have already sown that seed. And to the professors who have continuously supported all of the students in this graduating class, you continue to shower us with knowledge. A special thank you to the professors who have mentored me. Thank you, Professors Claire Carroll, Ali Ahmed, Mark Rosenblum, and Francois Pierre-Louis. These professors have moved me in ways that had a deep impact on my personal and professional goals. They have pushed me to constantly question my position in this world and to think about how I can help others through leading compassionately. I hold endless gratitude for them. Finally, my fellow graduates, everything we have accomplished as Queens College students has brought us to this moment. May we continue to flourish. Thank you for this tremendous honor, for your time, and congratulations to us all.
Today, we award an honorary degree to the brilliant scientist Miriam Rafilovich. Dr. Rafilovich is a distinguished professor in material science and engineering at Stony Brook University. She was educated at Brooklyn College and at Stony Brook, and then she taught for 6 years the subject of physics here at Queens College. We are profoundly grateful to call her one of our own.
A member of our Queens College extended family, you have excelled as a scientist, scholar, leader, and administrator. You have also been a teacher and an inspiration to students at all levels. You received a BS in Physics and Biology from Brooklyn College in 1975 and a PhD in Nuclear Physics from SUNY Stony Brook in 1981. From 1988 to 1994, you were a member of the Queens College Physics faculty. In 1996, the National Science Foundation awarded a substantial Materials Research Science and Engineering Center grant to a collaboration that included Stony Brook, Queens College, and the College of Staten Island. That grant led to the formation of the Garcia Materials Research Science and Engineering Center at Stony Brook, with you as director. The center was named after Narciso Garcia, a Queens College physics professor who had served as your mentor. Under your leadership, the Garcia Center has produced dozens of doctoral students in materials physics and related fields. The center has had a profound effect on STEM education in New York City and Long Island. For 2 decades, the Garcia Center has run a summer research program for high school students, hosting about 70 students for a 7-week period each summer. They participate in high-level research projects, many of which lead to journal publications, conference presentations, and entries in local and national science competitions. The performance in these students in the Siemens and Intel competitions is unparalleled in the nation, with dozens receiving high honors. The program has developed strong links with high school science teachers, bolstering the research programs in their schools. Participating students have also been awarded patents and inducted into the National Young Inventors Hall of Fame. Since 1998, the Garcia Center has sponsored the annual Science Open House at Queens College. Since 1998, the Garcia Center has co-sponsored the annual Science Open House at Queens College, which brings over 500 high school students and teachers to our campus each January. You have earned much recognition for your professional achievements. You were named a Distinguished Professor of Materials Science and Engineering at Stony Brook University, and you were the recipient of the SUNY Chancellor's Award for Research in Science, Engineering, and Medicine. You are a Fellow of the American Physical Society and a member of the Long Island Technology Hall of Fame. You played a pivotal role in founding the Chemical and Molecular Engineering program at Stony Brook University and served as its co-director for many years. In addition, you are the author of over 300 publications that have garnered more than 17,000 citations. Your research, focused on novel nanomaterials, has had significant impact in such areas as flame-retardant materials, cosmetics and lotion, biodegradable polymers, biological tissues, and even bedbug remediation. For your remarkable scientific contribution, for your dedication to mentoring students at all levels, for your pivotal role in creating a research center and new engineering program, and especially for your extraordinary impact on STEM education on Long Island and New York City, you are uniquely deserving of this honorary degree. We are proud to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa.
By the authority invested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, by the State of New York, and then in turn entrusted in me, I hereby confer upon Dr. Miriam Rafilovich the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto.
Thank you, President Wu. And it's a great honor for me to stand here. It's almost like coming home again. Queens College was my first faculty position after my postdoctorate degree. At Queens College, I was fortunate enough to work with the late Professor Narciso Garcia. Narciso Garcia was an eminent scientist, of course, in the physics department. But in addition, he was one of the first to realize the potential of undergraduates and even high school students in research. Till then, to be into science, you had to wait till you had a master's or a PhD. He said, no, young people have a vision and they can contribute in the capacity that they can. And in that way, they will grow and attain and achieve. That was my beginning and my inspiration. And I have continued to work with Queens College for almost 20 years in developing and inspiring young people to grow into science and see how they can take their knowledge and contribute to make our society a better place. Thank you.
Our commencement speaker, Congressman Adriano Espaillat, is truly one of our own. A distinguished graduate of the Percy Ellis Sutton SEEK program right here at Queens College. Drawing on his own experience as a formerly undocumented immigrant, Congressman Espaillat has dedicated his career to improving the lives of New Yorkers of all backgrounds. The first Dominican American to serve in the United States House of Representatives, he previously served in both the New York State Senate and New York State Assembly. Internationally known as a champion of human rights and immigrant rights, we take enormous pride that Congressman Espaillat has joined us on this auspicious occasion as we celebrate our graduates and their families. I hereby present the President's Medal, the highest administrative honor I am authorized to confer to the Honorable Adriano Espaillat.
Thank you so much, President Frank Wu. Thank you so much to Queens College, this jewel of an institution within the CUNY system. I've always joked as a young student here that Jewel Avenue was right near this college because it's considered the jewel of CUNY. And I want to thank the professors, the staff at Queens College, but most importantly, the students of this great institution. And a special thanks to those obviously graduating students. 2021. This has been such a difficult year for our country, for our city, and for the world. It's been a very tough year. So I know that life will be demanding more of you. But I am confident that you have the tools and the know-how to get us through this. And of course, Queens is a borough that's very diverse. Many people seem to think that the 7 train, which runs right through Flushing, it's the United Nations, and people from all over the world have made Queens their home, particularly the Asian American community and the Asian Pacific Islander community, which I know faces great challenges today. So I am privileged and honored to be here in Queens College, the home of many Asian Americans and Asian Pacific Islander students from this institution and families, to say to you that we have your back, that we support you, that we will continue to fight to ensure that hate is not allowed in New York City, that hate is pushed out of our nation. And Queens is a perfect example of how people from all over the world live together in harmony and work together every single day to make New York City a better place for all of us. I know that well because my grandfather, Adriano, worked in a factory right here in Flushing and would take the 7th train at 5 o'clock in the morning all the way from Washington Heights to the last stop on Prince Street in Flushing to work in a factory to provide for us. And that helped me make me who I am today. And he had his contribution to making a member of Congress. So I'm here to say thank you to Queens College and to say that your voices are so important today as we seek to find a new path after the COVID-19 pandemic and after the civil rights issues that have affected our nation throughout months. Now, I was a member of the SEEK program. The SEEK program gave me great opportunities. Many of you may not know that the SEEK program was created in Albany through a single action that was called the Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk concluded at the Speaker's office, and it was put together by members of the then Black Puerto Rican Caucus, led by the late and great Percy Sutton. And in the middle of the budget negotiation, a handful of African American and members of color of the State Assembly decided that they will walk to the Speaker's office and demand greater accountability for their communities. And through that action, the SEEK program was created. Little did I know, as a young man, that as a SEEK student, I benefit from the classes offered here by people like Professor Presley and also the late Michael Harrington. Little did I know that I would then become an assembly member myself and fight for this program. So again, much has happened this past year, but you're now graduating from a great institution, and this city and this state expects great things from you. And I know that you will come through for all of us. You have the tools in your hand. You are the sons and daughters of the greatest revolution, perhaps, of all time. The technology revolution, a silent one, but a determining one in changing the quality of life of people throughout the world. So I am confident that you will use the tools that you have in your hand, at your disposal, to ensure that we move forward together. In his critically acclaimed Broadway musical, Lin-Manuel Miranda said in Hamilton, "Who will tell your story?" So I ask you tonight, who will tell each and every one of your stories? I know that you will make us all proud. I want to thank President Wu once again for allowing me to receive the Presidential Medal for Queens College. I want to thank all of those associated and affiliated with Queens College. God bless you, and keep the faith.
Thank you for your inspiring address, your dedication, and your continued work on behalf of all New Yorkers. At commencement, Queens College celebrates the alumni of the graduating classes that have their anniversary years. We want you to recall what it was like when you marched across this stage. I know that none of you are able to be here with us today, but I hope you'll share these fond memories. In 1946, Tupperware made its debut, changing food storage in kitchens across the nation. The average price of a home was $5,600. Among the many who went out on strike were 250,000 railroad workers. When the class of 1951 graduated, the 22nd Amendment was added to the United States Constitution, limiting the president to just 2 terms. The hit songs of that era included Cry by Johnny Ray, Too Young by Nat King Cole, and Because of You by Tony Bennett. The New York Yankees won the World Series, neither for the first nor the last time. 10 years later, in 1961, Alan Shepard was the first American to orbit the Earth in space, competing with the Soviet Union for bragging rights. Among the hit songs was Tossin' and Turning by Bobby Lewis. John F. Kennedy had been elected president, and the minimum wage was, if you can believe it, all of $1.15. Members of the class of 1971 might be entertained to know that the Walt Disney World Resort opened the very year they graduated. The voting age was lowered to 18. If you were old enough to be drafted for military service, you were old enough to cast a ballot. The average income for families was $10,000. Graduates from 1981, it's your turn. Sandra Day O'Connor was appointed to the Supreme Court, becoming the first female justice. In another sign of gender equity, one of the top songs that year was Physical by Olivia Newton-John. The price of a postage stamp was 18 cents, and the New York Islanders won hockey's Stanley Cup. By 1991, the minimum wage had risen to $4.25. The New York Giants won the Super Bowl, defeating the Buffalo Bills by 1 point in Tampa. Silence of the Lambs won 5 Oscars: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Adapted Screenplay, forever linking actor Anthony Hopkins to the words Chianti and fava beans. Members of the class of 1996 graduated in another watershed year. Pokemon and Fox News made their debuts. Bill Clinton was reelected, defeating Bob Dole, while the GOP maintained its majorities in the House and the Senate. The New York Yankees again won the World Series, ending an 18-year dry spell. In the year 2001, the top song was All For You by Janet Jackson. The release of the iPod enabled music lovers to save their tunes and queue them up at will. And in a day that none who were alive then will ever forget, terrorists crashed airplanes into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and another in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. In accordance with campus tradition, I'd like to introduce 4 relatively recent graduates who will sing an ode to our colors, blue and silver. This tune was arranged by Professor Emeritus Joel Mandelbaum, and it will be performed by soprano Nathalie Escudero, alto Anne-Marie J. Errico, tenor Nate Festinger, and baritone Todd E. Waxman, all of whom studied voice at the famed Aaron Copland School of Music.
Blue and silver proudly flying o'er the college we all love, sons and daughters pay their homage to our colors up above. Truest fame and brightest glory, thine will always be. Evermore we'll sing thy praises, Queens. Our hearts go out to thee.
The student leader speaking to us today is the president of the Student Association, Zaire Kalut. She's a sociology major and a cities and social medicine and economics minor. I've worked closely with President Kalut on many projects of great importance to students and all stakeholders here. I look forward to hearing from her.
Good morning, everyone. It is beyond my pleasure to congratulate the class of 2021. You did that. And I am beyond proud to have done these 2 or 6 years with you all. And I'm beyond proud to have traveled the journey with you throughout all these few years. Although we have many years ahead of us, it is undeniable that these years are unforgettable. The fact that we made it this far speaks to our resilience. Our strength was tested, and we persevered, and we proved to be supreme. When I look into the crowd, I don't only see QC students. I see the future. I see the epitome of greatness. So take care and trust in yourself and in the process, because you belong in every room that you stand in. Here's to the undocumented students, the first-geners, the moms, the athletes, the Sikh students, immigrants, honor students. You all did that. You brought your dreams to fruition. And I would also like to thank our professors, our adjuncts that accommodated our needs, and thank you to our administration for listening to us and for guiding us. We are grateful. Here's to the movers and the shakers, the group chat creators that kept us connected, and the students who held it down during those awkward pauses in the Zoom classes. I can't wait to see what you all accomplish in the future, because we know, even in separation, QC sticks together, and we will always have each other's backs. We are beyond capable of breaking any and every barrier, every glass ceiling, and every obstacle, especially when we stick together and we stick up for one another. And given QC's culture, we've been well equipped. We advocated and we rallied together for Black lives, for Asian lives, for people of color. COVID-19 tried to keep us apart, but it only showed that we have a bond that will never be broken. Even in isolation, we find a way to be united as one QC family. As QC gets ready to return for the fall, we're going to miss seeing your familiar faces on campus, on the quad, in the library, even for 24 hours, in the CAF during free hour, but we will always remember the class of 2021 as the class of resilience and strength. Thank you, class of 2021.
Thank you, President Kalut. According to our commencement program, it is now time for the presidential charge. Now, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Elizabeth Hendry, will call up representatives for each of the degree categories.
We shall now proceed with the conferring of degrees. The programs list the candidates for each of the degrees and certificates. The students being hooded were chosen among the top students in each degree category. Emilio Martinez is representing the candidates who are to receive the degree of Master of Music today. Jean Marie Yvel is representing the candidates who are to receive the degree of Master of Fine Arts and Master of Arts today. Allison LaPlatney is representing the candidates who are to receive the degree of Master of Library Science today. Jocelyn Joseph is representing the candidates who are to receive the degree of Master of Science today. Tatiana Egas is representing the candidates who are to receive the degree of Master of Science in Education and Master of Arts in Teaching today. Taylor Burgess is representing the candidates who are to receive advanced certificates and specialist diplomas. Zhang Song is representing the candidates who are to receive both a bachelor's degree and a master's degree today. Brittany Swee is representing the candidates who are to receive the Bachelor of Science degree today. Melissa Dillman is representing the candidates who are to receive the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree. Josephine Rose is representing the candidates who are to receive the Bachelor of Music degree today. Christine Ajoda is representing the candidates who are to receive the Bachelor of Arts degree today. President Wu, I present to you all of the candidates here and at home and respectfully request that you confer upon them the bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, professional and advanced certificates, and specialist diplomas for which they are qualified.
By the authority vested in the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York, by the State of New York, and by them entrusted in me, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degrees, master's degrees, professional and advanced certificates, and specialist diplomas which you have earned, with all the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors pertaining thereto. Thank you, Provost Hendry, Chief Marshal Engel, honored guests, and everyone in attendance. A special note of gratitude to the offices of Campus Events and Commencement, Information Technology Services, Communications and Marketing, Buildings and Grounds, and Public Safety. This event was made possible by the dedication and hard work of so many individuals. I extend once again my heartfelt congratulations to all of the graduates of the class of 2021 and their families. I charge you to use your knowledge wisely and generously to better the many communities in which you live and work. I tip my cap to you. Chief Marshal Engel, I invite you to conclude today's ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please continue watching as the names of all our graduates scroll across your screen. The 97th commencement exercises of Queens College of the City University of New York are now officially concluded.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Talev, and I'm a 2020 QC graduate. The one thing, I guess my best experience at Queens College was just during finals week when we would all be in the library, exhausted, cramming for finals because we didn't study the entire semester because we were having so much fun. And just everyone would be bringing each other snacks and coffee and like, oh, what class are you studying for? I'm studying for urban. Oh, I have notes for urban. And it was just amazing. It was such an amazing experience, and just this sense of community is something that you're not going to get in another school. I love this place. It was probably what's some of the best 4 years of my life, and I'm going to miss it a lot.
Hi, my name is Everly Sines. I'm a QC graduate of 2021. And the most important skill that I've learned at Queens College is resiliency. Although I'll miss Queens College during the summer, I'll be back here during the fall for graduate school as a QC dietetic intern.
Hello, my name is Carlos Matute. I'm a class graduate of 2021. The important skill that I've learned at Queens College would have to be time development. I'll miss the library, the only spot where you can just come up and relax or maybe even take a nap.
Savannah Marino, class of 2021. One of the most important skills I've learned at Queens College is balance. One thing I'll miss from Queens College is my excellent professors.
my name is Tasnia Villa, and I'm the graduating class of 2021. One of the most important skills I picked up at Queens College is communication. I feel like because we had such a diverse community, it was easier to open up with faculty, professors, and my classmates, and just like build that strong bond. One of the things I'll miss the most about Queens College is also definitely the campus. I really liked our campus, and just like the community, everyone was so friendly and nice. I'll definitely miss the professors and the friendships that I made here.
Hi, my name is Emily Perlmutter, and I'm a graduate of 2021. The most important skill I learned at Queens College was definitely how to collaborate well with others. That was a big thing that Queens College strives on, and I really feel like I learned that really well. The one thing I will miss about Queens College is definitely the community. Everyone is so tight-knit at Queens College, and it's really like a second family, so I will definitely miss that.
Hi, I'm Matthew Gibney. I'm class of 2020. My most important skill that I've learned here was professionalism and how to become a professional in the city atmosphere. I'm from upstate New York, and by coming down here, I've gained knowledge and insight into what it means to be a professional in New York City. One thing I'll miss about Queens College is the beauty of it. Normally in the CUNY system, there's no other campus like Queens. Coming to campus every day was always a joy, whether it was seeing the skyline behind me or seeing my fellow classmates. It was always a great, uplifting experience.
My name is Rima Farouk and I'm a senior at Queens College. I think just time management, because I feel like, after classes, you get really stressed and you just want to go home, but you should really cherish the time with your friends before they all get busy. So I would just actually make the decision to stay on campus and talk with my friends. And it actually comforted me and helped me relax. This is kind of weird, but I think I really miss the campus. I feel like other college campuses, they don't have such a big space to walk around, and it's really pretty. So I had a lot of good memories here, just seeing everything, and it just relaxes me, makes me feel comfortable.
Hi, my name is Daria Suru and I am a 2020 graduate. And the most important skill that I've learned from Queens College is to work hard to achieve something that you love and have fun with it, because at the end, it will pay off.